by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Everything you need for home decorating, you're going to find it there, and great advice, too, from the professionals at Westside Decorating Center. And we are going to chat for part of this hour about the Saginaw Commission on Aging and an event coming up. And whoops, they disappeared. We're on stream with them. We'll have to get them back again. I don't know what happened there. Maybe they can't hear me. I don't know why. Everything is set up right. We have a couple of folks calling us from the Commission on Aging in Saginaw, and there they are now. Let me see if we can get them back on again here. Hello, there we go. We have with us, first of all, well, I'll let you two introduce yourselves to everybody. Tell everybody who you are.
Hi, thank you. Good morning. My name is Jessica Sargent. I'm the director here for the Saginaw County Commission on Aging.
And?
Sheila McIntosh. I'm the volunteer and activities coordinator.
All right, let's start with an overview of what a Commission on Aging does and what the Saginaw Commission on Aging does.
Sure. Well, I'll just give a brief introduction. So our agency, we are a part of the County of Saginaw. We are a department that provides services to folks that are 60 and older in Saginaw County. We get a property tax millage. So we have local dollars that allow us to draw down state and federal funding that helps support our programs. So we have a lot of different programs, opportunities that really come into play if you need assistance. So transportation is one of our main programs. We do non-emergency medical transit and grocery shopping. We also have 11 senior centers that are located throughout the county that we have a hot lunch that is served daily, and a lot of different programs and activities for those that are more active. We also have our home delivered meals that get delivered out of the senior centers for those that are homebound and maybe have a little bit more difficult time getting around.
Is that the Meals on Wheels program?
That's the Meals on Wheels program. Yep. And we have a lot of different things going on here. We have a monthly newsletter that is published and available online or for pickup at any of our centers. That really gives just a good overview of everything going on if anyone is interested. But yeah, so we're really here to help support and provide different opportunities, and that's a main part of our mission here.
Is something like well, for example, Meals on Wheels, is that means tested? Do you have to fall under a certain income level to get that? What's the determinant as to whether you get those meals?
Sure. We do have some eligibility requirements, but income is not anything that we look at here as far as our services. So we do not means test. We are not allowed to under our grants. But we do look at some different eligibility. So for Meals on Wheels, you have to be primarily homebound, no longer driving. That way we ensure that those meals are being delivered to those who really need it the most. And if you're active and able to get out and about, that's where the senior centers come in. You can dine in, and we have a new program that's a carryout meal that kind of evolved out of COVID that is now allowable under our grants. And so we have lots of folks just coming and ordering a meal to go and picking it up, and they might be on their lunch break from work or have an activity or a class that they did and they don't want to sit in a center, and so they can order a meal and just take it out to go, which is kind of a cool new program that we have.
And you have meals at all of your centers, all 11 of them?
Yes. Yep.
Now, is it a central kitchen that delivers them, or do you actually make them there?
Yes, so we have a central kitchen here off of Shust Road where our main administrative offices are. All of the food is prepared in-house here, and then it's satellite out to all of the senior centers.
So give us an idea. What's a lunch like? Or meal? Is it a lunch? Is that when it's served normally?
It's a lunch. Yep. So it can vary. The lunches are very good. We have a lot of different items that are on the menu. So we have everything from hamburger, goulash. We have chili, chicken, fish dishes.
You have your choice?
There's no choice. So
okay.
Unfortunately, we don't
Not
have
a menu like a menu. This is what it is today, right?
Yep. We have a hot lunch. Yep. Yep.
So let's talk about volunteers for a minute. Does it take a few?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'll let Sheila chime in a
Yeah,
little. So she's our volunteer activity coordinator here, and relatively newer with us, but I'll let her share a little bit about our needs and
sure.
how important our volunteers are.
Yeah, we have volunteers. Some of them go out into the centers and they help at the centers, especially at lunchtime. They'll help get the lunch out. And we have volunteers that work in the office. Right now, we have a group of volunteers that are putting the bags together for the Meals on Wheels. So then the drivers can come and just get what they need. And so we have about 15 volunteers that do that on Tuesday and Thursday. And then our biggest need and what we're really looking for right now is drivers that will take the meals out to the homes. So that's a 2-hour commitment. Monday through Thursday is when we deliver meals. And it's usually from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So it's just a 2-hour commitment. We need volunteers who could do routes. So we also need volunteers that could just be a backup. So if somebody's not able to come in, then we could just call them and ask them to go out and deliver meals. And so, and the people that get those meals develop a really good relationship with our drivers, because every time I'm a backup, they're asking me where their driver is their driver okay? Are they coming back? So they really get attached to those drivers. And we're also checking in on them too to make sure that they're okay. So
Whose vehicle are they using? Their own?
they use their own vehicle, yes, and they get mileage reimbursement for that.
Oh, okay. So the gas is taken care of, sort of. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you said about 2 hours?
Yes.
How many stops typically will a driver make in that 2 hour?
Around 20. So we keep it in that 2-hour period because of the food. We want to keep the cold food cold and the hot food hot. So we try to stay within that 2-hour period.
And there's a route, so they get a route within a certain area, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. It's a route that, and we give them the list of people and the directions and everything that they have for that.
Does the Commission on Aging do any events throughout
Yeah.
the year?
Yeah, we do. We just had our senior day at the zoo, which I think we had approximately around 300 people that came to that.
Wow.
And that's where they went to the Saginaw Zoo here in Saginaw, and they had free admission. And then we provided lunch for all the seniors. And tomorrow on Friday, we're having our health expo at the YMCA. So that's with the YMCA and Commission on Aging. We put that on together. So we have about 50 vendors that are going to be there. And
All right, let's hold that thought. I want to take a break, come back, and then we'll talk more about that health expo and more about the Commission on Aging when we return here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. Let me take a moment to see if we can give you some money this morning. That's always a fun thing to do. Time to play WSGW's Fall into Cash, presented by Big Nursery and Garden Center. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this word online at WSGW. The word this hour is skull, SKULL. At Halloween, you'll see a lot of them. A lot of those skulls are out and about. SKULL. Alpha Media Company-wide contest must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Fall into Cash, presented by Big Nursery and Garden Center on WSGW. How was your sleep last night? You know, in this day and age, we're asked to do a lot more for less. So when you're going to bed and you spend approximately a third of your life there, you really need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured your mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit Sanitary Mattress, factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757.
And paid for by Case Legal Media. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those on the Marine Corps-based Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. Until now, North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file a lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation, 800-610-7781. Don't wait. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-610-7781. That's 800-610-7781. Again, 800-610-7781.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open modestly higher. The latest readings on inflation are mixed. The consumer price index for the year ending in September rose 3.6%, more than expected, though core CPI, excluding food and energy, showed improvement. It was up 4.1%. Delta Airlines shares opened more than 1% higher. The airline's earnings were better than expected. Delta is seeing demand holding up, especially for premium seats, though Delta is being cautious with its forecast because of high fuel prices. Walgreens lost money in its recent quarter. Walgreens Boots Alliance opened up 5%, though. Its new CEO takes over later this month. And Victoria's Secret lost money in the recent quarter, though it says losses are smaller than a year ago, and the stock is up 3%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The back-to-back Big Ten champions are hungry for more.
He's in the clear to the 10, to the 5, yes. Tipped in, intercepted.
What a great catch.
Into the blue, touchdown, Wolverines.
Join us this Saturday as the Wolverines return to Michigan Stadium for a Big Ten clash against Indiana. Kickoff is at noon, right here on your home for the Wolverines.
U of M Game Day coverage presented by Wolf Isles Ace Hardware begins at 11 o'clock on 790 AM WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to folks from the Saginaw Commission on Aging, and they have a health fair coming up. And when is that health fair, Sheila?
That's tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Any cost?
No.
So what are we going to find there? Someone comes out to the health fair. What's going to be there?
We have about 50 vendors that will be there. And all the vendors will have prizes and different things. You can also get a tour of the YMCA. There's going to be a raffles with different prizes. And also they can get a free cholesterol check, blood pressure, flu shot, and hearing tests. So those will be available.
I was going to ask about medical services and what might be provided.
Yeah, so all those will be available to anybody that needs that.
And you said the flu shots will be available?
Yes.
How about the COVID booster? No?
No, they just have flu shot.
Just flu shots. Is it the senior dose?
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
So what else is happening at the Commission on Aging? Jessica, what's going on?
So something that's really exciting right now that's happening is we are celebrating our 50th anniversary of serving the Saginaw County community. which is a huge milestone that we are very proud that to have that many years. And it's been a very interesting to see kind of how things have evolved and changed over the years as I've been doing a little digging and research to bring some of that out and to share with others in our community. But we are celebrating with an open house. So that's going to be on October 26th. It's a Thursday from 1 to 5. And we're going to have chili bowls, like hot chili bowls for everyone, and some different items from our menu. There's going to be a facility tour and staff around to just ask questions and learn a little bit more about our program. So again, it's a great opportunity to do a walkthrough and kind of see how we work, how we function. We're going to have our volunteer booth set up. So if anyone might be interested in becoming a volunteer and just learning a little bit more about that, it's really just going to be a great opportunity to meet our staff and just celebrate this milestone with us.
And when's that going to be?
It's Thursday, October 26th from 1 to 5, and that's at our main administrative building, 2355 Shust Road.
So you're too young to have been there 50 years ago, but as you look back at the history, how much change has there been in the Commission on Aging?
You know, I find it very interesting because the very start of this agency back in 1973 really was the need for transportation. So transportation was a big piece for the senior nutrition program and really establishing some services for adults in the community. So really when you look at our core services that we have here, so our nutrition program and transportation, those have remained strong over the years. And I just found that really kind of enlightening to see that, you know, a need that was identified over 50 years ago is still a need today and continues to grow because of the population that is still increasing. The baby boomer generation is one of the largest generations in history, and they're getting older. And, you know, that continues to be at the heart of what we do here. There's been a lot of programs that have stayed around, maybe changed a little bit. You know, we have a lot of different grants that we tap into at this agency. And so as grants have come and gone, you know, we may see some shifts in some of our other programs and services available. But for the most part, those core ones remain. And I found that very interesting.
So who's considered aged? I mean, it's one thing to sit here as an 80-year-old and know that I'm a senior, but what's the age break? When do you consider a person qualified for your services, for example?
Okay. So our local millage language reads 60 and older, and that comes from the funding that we get from the federal government under the Older Americans Act of 1965. So that is for persons 60 and older, with the exception of we have two programs here that are actually 55 and older. The one is our kinship support, which provides support services to grandparents who are legally raising their grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
And also for our foster grandparent program. And that is a 55 and older volunteer program here that it's a federal grant we receive, and that's the age threshold for that.
So let's, Sheila, spend a little bit of time talking about what kind of volunteers you need right now and how somebody goes about volunteering. And is there a training period?
Currently, the main need that we have is the drivers. So those are the volunteers that would go out and deliver the meals. What they would do is they contact me and we'd have them fill out the application. We do a background check, and then I would meet with them and do the training with them. We have them go out on a couple of routes with one of our, either another volunteer or one of our staff, so they get that training going out on the route. And I think that's about it. We also need volunteers that can help with packing the bags on Tuesday and Thursdays. Again, they do the application, background check is done on all of our volunteers. And then some of our centers need help, especially at lunchtime, with serving lunch.
You mentioned it's about a 2-hour commitment for the drivers. What
Right.
time? When do they start and when do they end?
Usually starts around 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And our volunteers, they usually get there between 9:45 and 10 a.m. And then they're usually back by noon.
And again, you do provide mileage.
Yes, so they would get mileage from their home to the center, their route back to the center and back home.
And once it's done once, it's a fixed mileage. You know what it is.
Right, yes.
Any other special events coming up, Jessica?
Oh gosh, I don't know about special events. So the senior centers themselves, there's 11 of them throughout the county. As an agency, I don't think we have anything else coming up besides the open house.
And when is that again?
The 26th.
Yeah.
Yep. But the senior centers themselves, there's a lot of really cool programs going on. Sheila recently had contact with Consumers Energy, and so there's some of them have already taken place, but some of the sites are still having them upcoming in this month. There's like a cool little kit that you get, and you come in for a presentation through Consumers Energy, and they give you a bag of things that can help reduce costs in your home. But it was a really good partnership that she established, and there's a lot of different like parties and things that the individual centers are doing. And so the best way to look that up is in the newsletter, just to find out what's going on each month. And I just want to put a plug in that if you want to come and have a lunch at the center, then you do have to call in advance. So we do require, it's a reservation system. So you just call that center that you want to go to and you sign up, and they'll put you down for whatever day you want to come.
And so let's talk about how somebody signs up for your services. For example, Meals on Wheels. How does somebody start that program for themselves?
Sure. So for the Meals on Wheels program, and pretty much anything that's not part of the senior center, you're going to call our front desk line, which is the main number here, and that's 989-797-6880. So you call that number, and if let's say you're calling on behalf of a loved one, you can do that. So you can call and say, my dad, I really think he could benefit from Meals on Wheels. We take down your contact information and all of his contact information, and we have just a few kind of initial questions we ask. The person has to be open and willing to receive service, though. So if you're calling on behalf of someone else, our first call is going to be to them and say, hey, someone so-and-so called, are you interested in this program? If the answer is yes, then we'll go through the screening process with the caseworker here. But that really is that first step, is making the phone call, and then our staff up at the front will answer your questions and get you to the right program. And then after that happens, we actually have a assessment process. That's a requirement of our grants. So there is some paperwork involved. We're government, so we love paperwork here.
Yeah.
But we have caseworkers that actually will go out and they do an assessment in your home. And then once that is all set up, then they send a message to the Meals on Wheels office, and we look at establishing that person on a route. And the great part about having the centers located throughout the county is that, we can better utilize our resources. So, if we have a senior center out in Chesaning and we have a home delivered meal route that goes out of Chesaning, not only is that meal for the homebound participant coming from that center, which is close to their home, but that's also where we look for our volunteers. So it's close to our volunteers' home too. And they're a part of that community. And so I think that's an important piece as we, recruit and look for people willing to help, really, knowing the streets in the area that they live and knowing the neighborhoods, that really is helpful through that process.
What time are the centers open?
They're all different.
They're all different.
All different, but around a lunch program. So most serve lunch between 11:30 and 12. So they range from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So some shorter.
So is there a website where you can find out if there's a center in your area and that lists all the centers?
Yes. So we are a part of Saginaw County. So if you go to saginawcounty.com and you go under the departments tab, you'll see Commission on Aging. And if you click on that, it'll take you to our webpage, which It does have a link where you could look at the locations of all the senior centers. And that information is also available in the newsletter, which is the link to the newsletter is also on that page on the website.
Well, Jessica, Sheila, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning and telling us about the Saginaw Commission on Aging.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate being on the show again.
And let's remind everybody again that the health fair is when?
That is tomorrow.
Tomorrow
And,
at the YMCA.
Yes.
And what time?
10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Very good. Thanks a lot. Thank you both. Appreciate you being with us today.
Yep.
Have a good day. You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And we thank Jessica and Sheila for joining us here on the Art Lewis Show. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour, whatever you'd like to chat about. And give us a call, and we'll be happy to get the conversation going with you. I'm going to converse with you now about Krizak's House Family Restaurant, best place to go for your authentic home-cooked foods with a European flair at reasonable prices. Now's the time to think about getting together with friends and family for lunch or dinner, as well as events coming up soon. Graduations, confirmations, weddings, showers, anniversaries, you name it. Krizak's has an economical way for you to supply the food. You can order what you want in Polish and American foods and then just pick it up at the restaurant ready to go. Or have your celebration right there at the restaurant. Don't forget, at a moment's notice, Krizak's can help. Call them at 989-894-5531, 894-5531. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side.
The Great Lakes Bay Economic Club would like to invite you to our Monday, October 16th luncheon, where what's going on in agriculture will be discussed. Michigan sugar,